We're now officially on our 97th Nanoblock build, and it's the 97th Pokemon Nanoblock set, Milotic! Hey guys, Stormtrooper1 here! Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome to my latest Nanoblock Unbag build, I should say, with Milotic from number 97, Generation 3 Pokemon from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And it's a very unique Pokemon that actually evolves when you have the beauty starting of a Feebas has all the way up to about 220, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I might have to look into that when I move on to my my Gen 3 playthroughs on Twitch and Kick, which you can check in my description down below if you want to head on over to those pages. And of course, say hello, and of course, become a follower as well. You'll even get your name in my little book with whatever color pen you'd like. And let's actually move on from playing Pokemon games to building Pokemon Nanoblock sets. So we're going to be building the Milotic set. I just hope that it's not as difficult as the set from 2 weeks ago, which, luckily, it isn't. Although we have at least a few more bags. We've got at least 5 of them, and a lot of cream, and quite a few pink, which I was expecting. And how many steps have we got? At least 28, so it should be easy to pull off, and it kind of looks like it's the same as, well, I believe, the Rayquaza set that we've done a few months ago. So if you want to check out that video, guys, I'll see if I can leave a link in the description down below, and of course, help share with you the playlist as well. But for now, I'm just going to organize all the pieces I'll need for this build. Before we begin the video, I would like to remind everybody that I'm now streaming twice a month here on the YouTube channel. I do it on the first Tuesday of every month, and of course near the end of the month as well. So please do check out my live section on my channel to find out when I'm going. All the pieces from the 5 bags for the Milotic build are now sorted. We've got a nice variety of cream, we've got blue, we've got pink, we've also got some black and white and red. So let's go over the cream first, because that is kind of the majority of the model here. We have 15 2x3s here, and we also have 13 2x4s right here. Next up, we've got some 15 1x2s. We have 7 1x1s. We have 5 1x3s. We have 4 1x4s. We have 3 1x6s here. And we also have 20 Ls. Next up, we'll move on to the blue, which will be part of the tail for Milotic. We have a 2x4 here. We have 6 1x2s. A 1x4 here. 3 2x3s, 2 2x2s, 2 Ts, and at least 14 blue 1x1s here. Next up is the purple. We have 5 2x2s here. We have 8 1x2s. We have 9 Ls. We have 6 1x3s. We have 14 1x1s here. And we have 14 2x3s here at the bottom right of this part of the tray. Now for the blacks, we have at least 13 1x1s, 3 black Ts, 3 black Ls, and 5 1x2s here. We also have 2 white and 2 reds. So I'm actually going to change the background drop for this build in a moment, and then I will get to work on step 1 of the build, where we're going to be working on the long body of Milotic. Step 1 of the build is done, and yes, the backdrop for this build has changed to the other mat that I own for the unbagging builds and unboxing builds that I do. So I began with, for the first step, a cream 2x3 right here in a horizontal position. Then I place a cream L with the gap facing the northwest right here on top of it. And then to the right of those two pieces is a cream 1x6 right here to the right. Then I placed 2 more cream 2x3s, one where I just put it back onto the model, and one here at the front where it's in a vertical position right there. So a good easy step to start off with the build, and hopefully with step 2, which I will actually do here on the camera, so that it's a lot easier to understand. And of course, show the after result. And of course, why it would be a good idea just to use the display tray that we have here. So we have a cream 1x3, and place that right there. Then directly to its right is a 1x4 in a horizontal position. Then I grab a 2x4 directly next to the 1x4 that we placed on, and then a 1x6 where it is directly here. Well, starts off on that peg there, and then it connects to this part right here. So this is what it should look like after step 2. Now, for step 3, I'm actually going to have to start to take these bricks off the display stand, so that I can then put it on the table, on the surface, so that I can then show you the end result of what you have to do. Otherwise, it would just be a long time just to take it off the plate, and I want to save time on that. So we're now done with step 3 of the build, and we have taken, well, as you can see, we've taken the build off my little display panel right here. And we can carry on with the build without wasting time just to take it off. So I began right here with this cream 2x3 and placed it in the vertical position directly on top of the right half of the 1x6 that we did in step 2. Then to its bottom left here is a 1x2, and again it's in a vertical position so that it carries on with the curve effect for Milotic. Then right here, directly underneath the very middle of the 1x6 here, is a 2x4 cream in a vertical position again. And then in the very middle of that cream 2x4 is a cream L, where the gap is facing the southwest. As you can see here, as it is filled by the 2x3 that we did in step 1. So with that over and done with, we can now move on to step 4 and add some more details as we carry on with the long body of Milotic. Step 4 of the build is almost complete. I just have to share with you what I had to do so far, otherwise it would be rather hard for me to explain. So I began with this cream L, where I had to grab 3 of these first for the base layer of the model. I placed one in the middle of this 2x4 here on the right, where the gap is facing the northeast. Then one underneath where the gap is facing southwest, as you can see right here on your screen, hopefully. Then to the right of both of those combined is another cream L where the gap is facing the northeast. And then I place right here a little 1x1 so that it fills in the gap that we're about to build later on in the video. Then what we have to do is grab a cream 2x4 like this one here, and can place that on right here so that it's directly over what we've done. So it should look like this now from underneath. And then we just place another cream L right in the middle of that 2x4 that we've placed here. And then on the top half of that right end L that we've done. So this is what it should look like now after step 4. And hopefully, in step 5, we can make sure that these L's are not shaking too much as we carry on with the build of the body. Okay, so step 5 of the build is now completed, and it is still a little bit wobbly, unfortunately, but hopefully in later steps we will address this. So first of all, I began with a black T right here at the back, which if I turn it around, should be having the odd peg facing the north of the model, which is to the back. Then directly underneath it is a blue 2x3 in a vertical position, so that it's directly underneath the black T right here. Then another black T where the odd peg is facing the south. And of course, to help fill in, well, carry on with the natural tail effect for the model, we've got a pink 1x1 right here, directly underneath this 1x2, which is not what I did on the top layer of this step. It was actually this cream 1x6 that I did first and foremost, where the bottom peg of that 1x6 is in the middle of the south-facing T, and directly over the black T where it's facing north, and of course the 2x3 here, which then leads to the main long creamy body of Milotic right here. Then I had to grab another cream 1x1 so that we can then get a natural effect for the tail. And of course this magenta 1x2 right here, which is creating that unique pattern for Milotic's tail, which we're going to be carrying on in step 6, as we're going to hopefully try and stabilize the tail a little bit more. So step 6 is now completed, and it does feel a lot more stable now, which is good and what I was hoping for. So I began with the cream 1x3 right here and placed it in horizontal position so that it's directly in line with the top half of the 1x6 in the top left right here, so that it also helps keeping the model stable. Then I grabbed a magenta black 1x1 and placed one here and one here so that it carries on with the unique tail pattern for Milotic. Then directly underneath each one of those black 1x1s is a magenta 1x2 here on the left side and a blue 1x2 here on the right side. So that is it for step 6. For step 7, we're going to be adding some more to the tail pattern for Milotic. Step 7 of the build is done, and, well, almost done, I should say. There is a few more pieces that we have to add onto the model, which we will do later. But first, I think it's best for me to explain what I had to do first and foremost. So I began with this blue T here with the odd peg facing the north, directly to the back of the model. And of course, making sure that the gap on the right is filled by the black T that we did in step 5. Then further on to the right here is a blue 1x1 right here, so that it's carrying on with the unique pattern for Milotic's tail. Then carrying on, we've got a magenta 1x1 right here, directly in the middle of the blue T that we've done so far, and a magenta 2x2 to its left right here, where the top row of pegs is in line with the 1x1. Now, to carry on, we need a black T right here, so it should look like this, and then we place this, it's directly over what we've done for the first layer, and then we put on a blue 2x2 directly over to the left side of that black T. So it should look like this now at the end of step 7, and now we can move on to step 8, where it looks like it's an easy step. We might as well just do it on camera, where we need a black 1x2 and a blue 1x1. And we put the 1x2, the black one here, directly at the front and over the bottom half of the magenta 2x2 that we've done. And the blue 1x1 right here. So it looks like this at the end of step 8. And now we can move on to step 9, where it looks like we're going to be working on more of the pattern details of the tail. Step 9 of the build is completed, and we have got some more detail for the the tail end of Milotic right here. So I began with these two black L's, where it kind of forms a 2x3, if you will, where this one has the gap, the one on the left has the gap facing the northeast, and this one has the gap facing the southwest. So it does create that 2x3 illusion. Then I had to grab a magenta L where the gap is facing the southeast, directly under the black L on the left here. And then I placed a black L where it's underneath the magenta L and the gap facing the northwest right here. Then a black 1x2 in a horizontal position directly to the right of that L that we've done here, followed by a blue 1x1 here, so that it carries on with the blue effect for Milotic's tail. And speaking of blues, we even have a 1x3 in a vertical position in kind of where the middle and the right peg is under the black L that we've done here. And then another blue 1x1 right here, so that's on the left, well, underneath the left peg of the 1x3 that we've done first. And at the same time, I actually placed on a black 1x1 to the right of the blue 1x1 here, so that it helps carry on with the illusion. Now, there was a bit of instability on this side of the tail right here, but luckily this blue 1x3 that I placed here in a horizontal position has helped to keep everything stable. And then this black 1x2 here at the bottom right of that 2x3 will carry on with the tail illusion for Milotic, for which we will have to stop for the time being, and because in step 10 we're going to be adding some more to this part of Milotic. Step 10 of the build is now completed, and we have added a lot more cream onto the model, as you can see. So my foundation brick was right here. It was this cream 1x3 in a vertical position directly above the black L's that we've done for step 9. Then I placed a cream L with the gap facing the northeast. He's directly on the right side, well, yeah, it's on the right side of the 1x3 that I've done here, carrying on and making sure that it carries on the curved body effect for Milotic. Then I place a cream 2x3 in a horizontal position directly to the left of that cream L, and of course with the bottom row of pegs touching the 1x3 that I've done here. Then I place another cream 1x3 right here directly on the top left half of the 2x3 that we've done, and then a 1x3 to its left, so it kind of forms a 1x5 illusion. Next up, I then grabbed a cream 1x4 and place it in a vertical position with the right half directly under the 1x2 that we've done here. And then I grabbed a cream 2x4 and placed that in a vertical position as well on the left side of the 2x3 here at the bottom and the middle half here. Then I grabbed another one of those 2x4s, and this time in a horizontal position underneath the bottom leftmost peg of the 1x4 here, and place it right here on the model, followed by one more 2x4 here at the front, where the bottom right peg here of this is directly hovering over the gap that we've done here from the very first and second step, or the first couple of steps that we've done for the model. Then I had to grab a cream L and place that directly over the rightmost pegs of the 2x4 here, and the bottom left half of the 2x4 here, and of course making sure that the gap is facing the southeast, as you can see, carrying on with the curved effect for Milotic's body. Then finally there is one more cream 1x4 in a horizontal position where it's directly to the left side of the horizontal 2x4 here, and at least one row of pegs under the top, so it kind of connects this one here and this one here. You just have to make sure that this peg here at the bottom of the 1x4 is in line with the top half of the vertical 2x4 at the front of the body. So that should be it for step 10. We're now going to move on to step 11, where we're going to add some more cream pieces, and it looks like we're going to add another magenta part for the model, which will be interesting. Step 11 of the build is now completed, and yep, we do have a magenta part right here at the front, which I believe is going to be part of Milotic's ear. I'm not going to be 100% sure, but that's what it's looking like to me. So I began with this cream 2x3 in a vertical position, and I placed it right here at the back part of this side of the body. Then I placed a cream 2x4 directly to its left, where it's kind of forming a 2x7, if you will. Then I grabbed a cream 2x3 and placed that in a horizontal position and placed it directly underneath both the 2x4 and the 2x3 so that so that the line of those pieces are directly in the middle of this horizontal 2x3 that we've done here. Then I grabbed a two cream L's, where this one is facing the southeast and this one is facing the southwest, to the top half of left and right of the 2x3 that we've done here. Once those were locked in securely, I then placed on the model a 2x4 in a vertical position, where it's at least one row of pegs away from, to the left of the 2x4 that we've done here, and of course helping to connect the body of Milotic nicely. Then I placed a cream 2x3 and placed it in a vertical position as well, making sure that the 3 pegs are on the rightmost side of the 2x4 and of course aligned together. Then I placed a little cream 1x1 and placed it right here on the top left row of pegs right here, and of course on the bottom half of the 2x3 here. And then once those were in position, I then grabbed one more cream L and placed it with the gap facing the northwest right here to carry on with the illusion of Milotic's round body. Then I grabbed a cream 1x3 and placed it in a vertical position in the same row with the cream L that we've done here. And when that was nice and secured, I then grabbed 2 cream 1x2s and placed one here and one here directly above and underneath the 1x3 that I've done here. Then it was on to the more unique details of the tail, where I placed a black 1x1 here on the top right half of the 1x3 cream here. Then a blue 1x3 directly underneath the bottom right half of the 1x3 here as such. Then on the right side of that cream 1x3 is a blue 1x2 and a black 1x1, so that it kind of forms a rainbow-like 1x6, if you will. With the cream, then the blue in the vertical position, and then the black 1x1 right here. And then, of course, I had to place this magenta 2x3 right here, where it is directly in the same position as the 2x3, the cream that we've done here, but directly hovering over the edge, as you can see, as the majority of the the brick, is very loose. But hopefully in step 12, we can resolve this little issue. Step 12 of the build is done, and yes, this magenta 2x3 is helping support the first 2x3 that we did in step 11 nicely, which is which was my starting brick for this build. I then moved on right here with this cream 1x2, where it's in a vertical position and at least 2 pegs away from the middle of the magenta 1x2 that I've got here. And once that was nicely secured and in position, I then grabbed a cream 2x4 and placed that in a vertical position as well, where the right half is directly over the 1x2 that we've began here, and of course making sure that the left half is connecting to the magenta 2x3 that we've got here. Then I grabbed a cream 1x2 again, and made sure that this time it was in the horizontal position, where its bottom peg was to the right side of the top half of the 2x4 that we've done, so that we can then attach a 1x4 or in a vertical position directly over that 2x4 here, so that creates the illusion of a 2x3. Then I grabbed a cream 1x1 and placed that directly on the top right half of the magenta 2x3, and of course in line with the top row of the top half of the 2x4 or cream, for which we then needed another 2x4, but this time it's in a horizontal position to carry on with that curved body effect for Milotic. Then I grabbed a cream L and placed it in a, with the gap facing the southeast, with the long part right here on the right half of that 2x4 in the horizontal position. And once that was in place, I then grabbed one more cream 1x1 and placed that on the top left half of the 2x4. So step 12 has been very fruitful in terms of carrying on with the magenta pattern for Milotic, and we're going to carry on with this pattern and of course add more to the body as we move on to step 13. And step 13 is really easy to pull off, as we have another magenta 2x3 in a horizontal position, where this time the middle left and bottom left pegs are over the magenta 2x3 that we did in step 12, and connecting it onto the main body of the model as well. I then had to grab a cream 1x1 and place that on the top right row of the magenta 2x3 pegs that we've got here. Then a cream 2x3 again in a horizontal position to connect everything right here, and making sure that the middle row of pegs are in line with this peg 1x1 that we've done here. Then we grab another 1x1 and we place that in the middle right of that 2x3, so that at the back here we could put on a black 1x1 here and one here. So that will be it for step 13. So for step 14, it's really easy to do. We just grab a cream 2x4, place it over the black 1x1s and the cream 1x1s, as well as the top half of the 2x3. Then a 1x2 in a vertical position in the bottom middle of the 2x4 that we've placed. And then a magenta 2x3 directly over what we've done here for step 13. And with that over and done with, we can now move on to step 15, where it looks like we're adding some more magenta and some little black spots as well. Step 15 is over and done with. It was nice and quick. So we began with the magenta 2x2 here and placed it at the bottom half of the step 14 2x2 that we've done. 2x3 that we did. Then on the top right half of the 2x2 that we've done here, there is a magenta 1x1 right here. Then there are two cream L's kind of forming a very big T. The one on the left has the gap facing the northwest, and then the one on the right is facing northeast. So it's easy to remember. So, and of course, the gaps are filled in by a black 1x1 each here and here. And then we can move on to step 16, which will be really easy. We just grab a magenta 1x3 and place it over the 1x1s that we 1x1 magenta and the right half of the 1x2, the 2x2 that we did, and then a cream 2x4 in a vertical position as such. And that's it for step 16. So now it's time for me to get to work on step 17 of the build, and as I do that, I have a familiar message to share with everybody here on the channel. Do you like what you see on the screen? The link to the video will be down in the description below, so you can check it out for yourself. But for now, we're going back to the build. And don't forget guys, you can always catch me on Twitch and Kick at 11 AM UK time on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays as I play games like Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy and Pokémon on the channel. And of course, the more followers that I have, the more cool stuff that I will do, including sharing what I would like to do as a dream house or maybe even a dream office layout for the future, and of course play some special games which I can also do here on YouTube. And don't forget guys that when we hit the 1,000 subscriber milestone, I will show off my 100th Nanoblock unbox or bag and build on the channel. It's going to be a really big surprise for you guys, so I hope that you look forward to what I've got in store, and of course please do consider hitting that subscribe button to help the channel grow. And of course, let's move on to this Pokemon unbag and build that we're on right now, as we are on step 17. So this one is basically the same as what we did in step 15, but the only difference is that there is a magenta 1x2 right here at the front, and of course the bottom half of the 1x3 that we did in step 16. So we can now move on to step 18, and it's really easy to do. All I have to do is get these two cream L's and place one here then one here. And then place a magenta 1x2 over what we've done. That's step 18. For step 19, it's basically the same with the magenta. But we need a 2x3 to help secure the cream else that we put on the model. And then for step 20, we put on a 1x2 in a horizontal position as such. And that is it for that step. Yep. And we are getting closer and closer to the head of Milotic, which is actually going to be here, step 21, and it's a three-part step for this build. So I just need to put this aside for a minute as I get to work on the head of Milotic. Parts 1 and 2 of step 21 are done, and it was really easy, part 1, because we began with a cream 2x3 right here as our foundation brick, and you have to make sure that it's in a horizontal position first and foremost. Then I grabbed another cream 1x2 and placed that in a vertical position and directly over the bottom half of the 2x3 that we've done here at the base. Then on the left and the right side of behind the 1x2 that we've done, are two more cream 2x3s, both in horizontal positions so that they kind of expand the head of Milotic right here and here. And then here at the top is a cream 2x3, again in a horizontal position like we did on the first part of step 21, and where it's over the 1x2 and the 2x3s that we've done for the second layer of part 21. Part 1 of step 21. Then I place the two red 1x2s, both in horizontal positions and over, directly to the left and the top right, the top left and right side of the cream 2x3s that we've done on this layer of the build. Then I place the two cream L's, directly on top of the 2x3 that we've done here, where the one on the left has the gap facing the southwest, and the one on the right is facing the southeast. Now, their gaps are going to be filled by these two magenta L's, where this one has the gap facing the northwest, and this one is facing northeast. So that should be it for part 2 of step 21. Now I just need to get to work on part 3 of that step, so that we can finish off working on the head for Milotic. Part 3 of step 21 is completed, and we've got some eyes, the finishing touches for the eyes of Milotic. So I began with the cream 1x2 right here in a vertical position so that it starts as my foundation brick. I had to make sure that it was at least a row away to the back of the head right here, so it does give that kind of, the look of the nose for Milotic. Then I place a cream 2x4 in a horizontal position directly on top of the 1x2, so that it kind of creates the illusion of a 2x5 right here. Then I place the white 1x1s right here and here on the front half of the red 1x2s that we did in part 2. Then a black 1x1 directly behind the white pieces that we've done here and here. So that should be it for those pieces. Then I grabbed two magenta 2x2s and placed one here on the right and one here on the left of the model. So it should look like this at the end of part 3. And now we can actually attach this onto the model of our Milotic. So all we have to do is make sure that these parts are directly in line with this row of pegs here. And it looks like we've also gotten the illusion of one of Milotic's ears, which is perfect. So if you're not entirely sure, the best way to tell on where to put the head for Milotic would be the magenta pieces that we got here, which is excellent. So now we can move on to step 22 of the build and carry on with more of Milotic's head. Step 22 is all done, and as you can see, we've got more magenta for the model. So I began with the magenta 1x1s directly on top of the white 1x1s that we did from step 21, here and here. Then I placed a cream 1x2 directly in between those 1x1s in a vertical position so that they help carry on with the head effect for Milotic. Then right behind each one are two magenta 2x3, so that kind of forms a 2x6, if you will, in a vertical position, so that it carries on with the illusion for Milotic's ear on the left side, and carrying on, starting off with the right side here. And then finally there is a cream 1x2 here in a vertical position to help, hide the effect that there is a line for Milotic's head. For which we will now move on to step 23 and carry on with this illusion as we place a 2x3 right in the middle here, which is really easy to do. Then for step 24, we grab two 1x2s, we put them together like a 2x2, and we place them on the back right here of the 2x3 that we've done. And then finally a 1x2 to help connect it all together. So we are done with the crown of Milotic's head. But we do have to work on the right ear of Milotic. So we need to get to work on step 25, which is a 6-part step. Really easy to do. So as you can see with this piece right here for step 25, it's kind of like what we were doing from step 11 all the way up to step 19 of the build, where it's in the exact opposite direction of what we've been doing. But if you want, you can actually use the left ear as a sort of reference, so you can work on the right ear. You just have to make sure that it's in the opposite direction of where you're supposed to go, and then you can attach this directly underneath the model as such. Now, it will look a little bit awkward right now after this step, but don't worry, because I believe in the next couple of steps, we are going to address this inconsistency, and of course fix up Milotic's ear. But for now, we just need to get to work on step 26, and what we'll also do is step 28, because it's kind of the same thing. Step 26 is done, as you can see here on the right of the screen, and we're about to do step 28, so I thought it would be a good idea for me to show you what you have to do for each step. So because it is a 2-part step for each one. For step 26, for part 1, you just grab 2 magenta L's, and for step 26, you have to make sure that the gaps are facing the northwest, and for step 28, they are facing northeast, and you have to put one on top of the other, so that kind of forms a long step right here. Then for part 2, we then attach a 1x3 on top of the first L that we've done, and then we can put on another magenta L, where for step 26 the gap is facing the northeast, and for step 28 it is the northwest. So then we can attach these onto the square parts of Milotic, one here, and one here. And that should be the long antennae for Milotic for step 28 and 26. And we've almost skipped step 27, but it's an easy step. All we have to do is grab a magenta 2x3, then a magenta 1x3, and then you put the 1x3 on the right side of the 2x3, and then the other 2x3 directly underneath here, and then we can attach onto the model as such underneath. So this is what it should look like after step 26, 27, and 28. Now all we have to do is finish off the tail in step 29, where it's a 6-part step, and hopefully not going to be that long to do. Part 1 of step 29 is completed, and it's really easy to do. All I had to do was grab 2 black 1x2s and place them one on top of the other directly, like as such, as you can see, and 2 blue 1x2s in the same manner as what we did with the black 1x2s, and then directly on top of those two is a blue 2x2 to help keep everything together. And that is it for part 1. For part 2, what we're going to do is we're going to do it on camera, because it's really easy to see as we do it. So we begin with a blue 1x1, and we place it on the right side of the 2x2 in directly on top of the stack of the 2x2 blues that we've done here. Then another 1x2s. Then another 1x2 directly here behind it over the black 1x2s that we've done, so that it kind of resembles a blue L. Now, if you want to use a blue L, you're more than welcome to, but I'm just going with what the instruction tells me to do. And then I'm going to add this blue T, so that the odd peg is over the 1x1 that we've done, and of course making sure that it is connecting the 1x2s that we've 1x2, and giving this illusion for the tail. And now we need to put this to the side for a bit as we get to work on part 3 of step 29, where we're going to get to work on the tail fin for Milotic. Part 3 of the build is done, and we've got, a good foundation for the tail fin for Milotic. So I began with a blue 2x4 and a 1x4, and put them together so that kind of forms the illusion of a 3x4, if you will. And then I placed 2 blue 2x3s next to each other like a 2x6, so that it helps connect the 1x4 and the 1x2, so we've done together nicely. And then finally a blue 1x2 right here at the right behind the 2x3s that we've done, so that it helps create the illusion of a tail fin in curving down, so that it gets towards more of the fin itself. And with that, we can now attach a little myriad of magenta 1x1s and blue 1x1s as well, so that it creates the illusion of the tail fin. So it should have an effect resembling this right here. So we just need to do this until we're at least 2 stacks high. So with part 4 over and done with, this is what it should look like at the end of this. So it does give that illusion of a proper tail fin for Milotic. And then we can attach the blue 1x1s directly over the magenta 1x1s that we've done. So it carries on with the illusion. So we do them here, 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 and here. So that's what it should look like at the end of part 5 of step 29. So then we can attach this directly on top of what we've got here, and we have to make sure that it's in line, hopefully in line. And I hope that I've got it down correctly. Nope, it looks like I got it in the wrong direction. There we go. Oh, here it is. This is what it should look like now. And then we can attach this onto the end of Milotic right here. And here we go. Milotic. A Pokemon, a beautiful Pokemon that evolves from a Feebas into something more beautiful. And the old saying does go, there can be beauty within filth. Or is it something like that? I'm not entirely sure. Before we begin the video, I would like to remind everybody that I'm now streaming twice a month here on the YouTube channel. I do it on the first Tuesday of every month, and of course near the end of the month as well. So please do check out my live section on my channel to find out when I'm going live next.